This is a Chevy Silverado 3500 Trail Boss, and guys, I'm telling you, the incentives are really starting to heat up. And as of right now, Ken Garff has some really good discounts going on with their trucks. Now, this truck is from the American Fork location. Be sure to ask for Brady Ryan. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker, and then I'm going to quickly take you guys online so you guys can see how much discounts they have on their trucks currently. At the very top is the description. So this is an LTZ. Radiant red tint coat is the color. And then this is a short listing of the standard features. Now base price comes in at $64,500, which is pretty good for a LTZ. I mean, this is the second highest trim level, right below the High Country. And then starting off the options is the diesel with the LTZ Plus package. Also the power retractable assist steps for $22.95, Trail Boss technology package, and then Gooseneck packages right there. LTZ convenience package, and then a few more on the side here. So sunroof, radiant red was an additional cost, multi-flex tailgate, and then Z71 off-road package. Destination is $27.95 for a total price of $89,715. Now I'm on Ken Garff's website here. Hopefully you guys can see this, but the first truck they show, this is the best discount they have in stock. So 2026 3500 LT, this is an LTZ as you guys just saw, but that truck is around $78,820. You can get leather seats and a few of the nice goodies on the LT trim level, but for the most part, I feel like for myself personally, the LTZ is like what I would probably choose. But that truck has basically $7,000 of rebates. Now, if you do own a Chevy currently, they do have loyalty cash. Be sure to check out the details on that. I believe you have to have like a 2012 and newer Chevrolet. Can't be GMC, Buick, or Cadillac, by the way, too. It didn't specify that. Now, here's the red one. I believe this truck just got here because it didn't have any stickers on it yet for like the stock number. But yeah, they have $7,000, and then of course, again, if you have that loyalty cash, you can actually get an additional $2,000. I know it's coming. Someone's gonna say it. This truck is $15,000 to $30,000 overpriced, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Yes, everything's overpriced. I know. The discounts don't seem that big on this truck when you compare it to a Ram truck. I know. However, Chevys are not as expensive as Ford and Ram pickups, right? I would even throw GMC in the mix too, although I would say that GMC's probably right around the cusp of where this truck is. But consider this. If you were to look at a decked out Lariat from Ford or a decked out Laramie from Ram, those trucks can easily eclipse $95,000, $97,000. And if you add like the trimmer package, for example, onto the Lariat, right, you can easily cross over $100,000 if you're not careful. So when it's all said and done, yes, the Ram you could probably get in the mid 80s once you start adding discounts when they're all decked out. For Ford, you're going to still be in the 90 grand range after discounts. That could obviously change with incentives because incentives are getting better on all these trucks, I would say. So this is a good time to start looking if you have been kind of like lurking in the market. Now, this is my first time showing Radiant Red. That's why I pulled this truck here. And what do you guys think? Red on the Trail Boss. I will admit, I'm not a huge red fan, but I do like how you have the black bumpers with the red. I think that it breaks it up. Although I have seen these trucks in the sport appearance packages from like 24 and earlier, and they look good too. So even if they have the red bumpers to go along with it, they do look pretty sharp. You get a lot of blackout on that grill, around those headlights. You guys can see that graphic too. It's not carbon fiber, but it has kind of a look of carbon fiber there. Functional hood scoop. Front camera was an option. These front parking sensors option. Also, you guys see, you're starting to see the badging say Allison again. It just says 6.6 liter for a little bit there. And then here is a quick peek at this suspension. Now, most people know this by now, but there is no lift on the Trail Boss. It's just a really cool appearance package that gives you that off-road look, okay? Same suspension you get on a regular LTZ or even a High Country. Now, fabric liner, you do get more aggressive tires, which are the BFGoodrich KO3s. Now, before someone says there's no such thing as KO3s, because I've had people say that in the past, which makes me laugh. If you see right there, it says KO3 on the tire. Yes, these are KO3s, and they do make a KO3 tire. And the size is here, LT 275/6520. So it's not a different size from the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runners. However, that's okay because these are basically 34.1 inches tall. And that's actually a nice tire. I would say that if you're not looking to make any changes to the truck right out of the gate, Chevy and GMC do give you a good tire. I would even add Ford does too if you don't get the trimmer package as well, because they have the same size. Ram gives you like a 33.5 inch tall tire. That's the max it goes unless you go to like a Rebel or now the Power Wagon Cummins. Here's your block heater plug down there. You guys see the fender flares, Z71 badge. Now this truck has chrome on the running boards. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. So normally they come with just the black, but this one somehow got mixed in with the chrome. And some people may not even care. Some people may not even notice it, honestly. Has the perimeter lighting too. Now there really isn't any skid plates on this truck. I would call that more or less just splash protection on the front. And they give you a little skid plate for like the transfer case. And that's pretty much it. Smart key system, only on the front doors. Did you guys see that on the 2027 half tons, you're gonna get the smart key button on the front and rear doors. Largest bed in the segment, 36-gallon fuel tank, 7-gallon DEF. And now they put this little, don't put DEF little decal here, because people have been doing that. And if you do that, just know this, don't start the truck. If you notice that you did it, don't even put the truck in accessory mode, because if you hold down that start button, you will hear the fuel system basically priming. So don't start the truck. Don't even allow the tow truck guy to start the truck either. There is a liner out back on this truck when you get LTZ. It is an option for the LTs. You guys see that leaf pack? You have 2 overloads, 5 leaves in the main pack. Like the wheel design too. What do you guys think? It really hits. Trail Boss badge on the side, full LED tail lights. You have those steps built into the back of the bumper. The red does look good though. I think maybe because it's more like a burgundy. It's not full burgundy, but it's really close. Inside the bed, you do have the 5th wheel front package, 400 watts of power, bed lights. Be sure to check out my Juggernaut promo down below if you want to save some money on their strap. Gives you an OEM look, and 2 cameras, one for bed view, one for the rearview mirror. Power sliding glass, and then there's your sunroof. They don't give you an option to upgrade your spare tire. I would like to see that. And you guys see there, Rancho shocks out back, 342 rear because it's a diesel, and it has a automatic locker known as the G80 on this truck too. 12-inch ring gear. And I really do like these more aggressive tires too. They definitely hit on this truck. Now I filmed a dually earlier today, and here's what I'll tell you. Those trucks do sit slightly lower because of the tire height. However, I have a 4-inch lift on my AT4X with 38s, and man, my truck is tall compared to these trucks. 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. All that power goes through a stamped approved Allison. If I don't say that, someone's gonna come after me in the comment section. And Denso fuel pump injectors, so that's pretty reliable. Don't let anyone fool you. Denso is a really good manufacturer. Like Toyota, I think, still has stake in that company, and they might even own them 100%. I don't even know yet. But what I do know is I haven't heard of any issues with the fuel system injectors on this truck. So just run an additive. I have a website down below with fuel enhancement. It's going to add lubricity back to the fuel for you. I also have a bypass with Lorenzo oil, which is basically TS2 guard, which has tungsten and the oil, and it does help create a barrier around the metals to really give you a sacrificial wear. That way you're not actually wearing out your metals. I highly recommend it. I do oil analysis and the numbers speak for themselves. I have really low wear in my engine, and I truly believe it's something that will help you get to 500,000 miles without having any issues with the Duramax diesel. Even 1,000,000 miles, I would say, is very possible. As far as the interior goes, the LTZ does give you a lot of nice features, but sadly, a lot of things are an option. So if you are looking at a base LTZ, which means no packages, home link is an option. That power sliding rear glass is an option. Of course, that sunroof is. That camera, heads up display, all options on this truck. Now you do get power seats standard, but this center console with that little wireless charger, gone if you don't get those upgraded packages on this truck. Now you do get leather seats, but ventilated seats are on this one. Option if you don't get, again, some of those convenience packages there. Here's some of your controls. You have 3 drive modes. I don't ever show the drive modes for the GM trucks because it's just like off-road, normal, and tow haul. That's really it. So nothing really special on their trucks. They do provide a grab handle. You have the two-tone interior, so you have a lighter gray roof. Although it's a little dark, I would say it's a darker gray that matches the stitching around the interior. Now out back, those heated seats in the rear are an option, but you would get standard heated seats on this truck otherwise. This is an option. A little bit of storage below. Here's your armrest. This does come in handy. Like when my kids are back here, I do notice they use this a lot. So something to consider. Maybe they just don't want to be close to each other, so they just put it down. See, back pockets right there. You guys know that you can drop these headrests down too. Let's jump over to the front passenger. 9-speaker Bose is an option. I think this power seat is standard, but again, very possible. Could be an option. Now, a little bit of storage right there. By the way, your vanities have a warm white LED. And if you're thinking about hauling a bed camper in your bed, not towing, hauling, 2,939 pounds of capacity is what this truck is rated for. So overall, I mean, I would say that this is a really nice truck. I'm going to take it for a quick drive, and I mean really quick. I'm just going to drive back to the dealership because I want to talk about the tires on this truck. They never came out with an animation for the Trail Boss package, which made me laugh. All right, so we're going to come down on a little bit of a bump here. These trucks do ride pretty good. I will say these BFGoodrich tires are stiffer compared to the Goodyear Wrangler tires, basically, that this replaces. If you didn't get this Trail Boss package, you were able to upgrade to these BFGoodrich tires. So my thinking is, if you're someone who just wants a more aggressive tire, obviously these are gonna check that box for you, right? Also, if you're someone who avidly tows, right, that's something else to consider too. So I highly recommend the Trail Boss package just simply because of these tires. Now, the stiffer sidewall does not really affect the ride, but you can definitely tell this truck is slightly stiffer with these tires. And that's why I wanted to do a quick drive with this video back to the dealership to tell you that, because someone actually watched the video I did towing with one of these trucks, and they had mentioned this in a separate video saying, actually, I did notice these tires are stiffer compared to the Goodyear Wrangler. So I can confirm that other people have felt the same thing. Gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 5,600 pounds. The rear is 7,250 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is 12,100 pounds. 20 by 8.5 wide wheels. All in payload for this loaded up LTZ Trail Boss is 3,689 pounds. Curb weight is 8,411, and then it can tow 20,000 pounds conventionally, 21.6 gooseneck, 30,000 pound gross combined weight rating. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys see the tire pressure 60 and 80. I think that this is a good truck. I think that if you qualify for that loyalty bonus, man, this is a good deal right now. I think that for what you're getting in the package, even if they redesign these trucks in 2028, 2029, I think that you have everything you could possibly need. I mean, the only thing you're going to really get in the future is probably more screens, obviously. You might get some more comfort features. Like, I do like the idea of a twin panel and a few other things that these trucks don't have. But all in all, I mean, what you can expect, for all the people who complain about the pricing, what you can expect if you wait is a higher price. So I think that whether you buy now or you wait or you don't do anything, the reality is trucks are going to continue to get more expensive. The only way we can curb this is if we stop financing. I've said this before. If you're complaining about the pricing yet you're financing your cars, you're the part of the problem, just like me. I finance my cars too, so don't complain about the pricing.